You can now define a monitoring blackout period in Sentinel. So if you have planned maintenance and you want to avoid any alerts being produced while your system is down for maintenance in advance, you can edit the Server Studio configuration either using that button there or with right click, configure Sentinel, takes you to the same place. Just so that you can see the whole window there. So we have two tabs relevant to this. Firstly, if you haven't already done this, on the Administrator tab, Options tab, you want to declare where not alerts but administration information emails from Sentinel should be sent. You define that there. We'll see in a minute, this will mean that at the beginning of a defined blackout, the admin email will receive an email saying that the blackout period has started and another one at the end to say that the blackout's finished. That's the monitoring blackout definition pane. So you can see there, send blackout activation alerts to administrator email, which is indeed that email address. Yeah. So let's say there's going to be an outage tomorrow afternoon between 2 and 4. I think it's easier to do it in 24-hour clock notation. So normally for this you'd actually be saying once. Just occasionally, I guess, you might get systems that are routinely going to be down at a certain time of the week or a month. Normally you're just going to say this is a one-off. That is tomorrow, and we might say it's going to be at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's going to last 2 hours. And it affects that instance. Clearly on real Sentinel servers you're probably monitoring more than one instance. You'd need to say which instance is going to be stopped for maintenance. That's only effective once we do apply or OK. Obviously, should you subsequently find that the time needs adjustment, you can just go in there and make changes to it. So at 2 o'clock we'll get an admin email saying the blackout started. Sentinel will not raise any alerts for 2 hours, and it'll tell us when the blackout period is finished. That's a feature that we asked for, and it's in fact been in Sentinel for a good couple of years. The last new feature I'm going to cover in this video series is a command line runner. Now I'm actually just going to show some previous capture for this. The command line runner isn't working on this environment. I suspect there's a problem with a more complex path location for Server Studio, which again, by the time you try it, that'll probably be fixed in a future patch. So you can see on your screen there that this is, you'll find this of use, I'm sure. That web link there is in fact a static technical article on which these video demos were based. So if you want a static summary of what we've covered in this series, just look at that web page. So at the end of this, it's got the screenshot that was taken on a different environment to the one that I used for the demos, where the command line runner works just fine. So you need to run this in the Server Studio program location. It appears that it wants all the connection details. There doesn't seem to be a way of picking up a connection name and using the details that are in that connection. With that proviso, if you give it all the connection data on the command line, you can run SQL. If it produces any output results, it will be unloaded to a file. So you can see in the first example there, I've not actually stated where the output is going to go, and the command line runner has in any case passed it to an unload file and told us where it is. Now if this is part of a larger batch file, something that you're automating on, let's say, a Windows environment where you don't have DB access, this obviously is primarily what this is aimed at, is environments where you're running Server Studio or Sentinel but you don't actually have DB access installed, in which case you need another way of running SQL. Obviously, if necessary, the script could contain multiple statements, and they could be insert, update, delete, or whichever statements you want, depending of course on the user privileges. Possibly rather than creating a unload file with a timestamp that's going to be quite difficult to pick up afterwards in a script, it might be better to run any select statement as an unload to an explicit output file. Then you know what to pick up. So who knows, this might be a script to unload a file from unload data to a file in Informix and then load that into SQL Server using DTS, all of which could be thoroughly automated. Just to prove that the output format is very much what you'd expect. That's what the output content was. And that concludes this series.